Or if you're just a rando fan, cheer for Game 3. More rando, the better. That's what I say.
Yeah. Game 3 is not happening tonight. So we got some blue mail in the Link's house. That's actually a little annoying. That looks like 3 crystals in the light world there. Number 5 at Terra. I think the other 2 were just normal crystals.
I think you're right also. That was a very quick map check. And yeah, you're right. Getting the early blue mail can be kind of troublesome, especially when you're trying to play this game and you need to do death warps and stuff because you don't have a mirror yet and you've got 30 hearts and a red mail. It makes it really tough to do it. Yeah,
once you get the mirror, then bring on the mails. But until that point, it's can be a little annoying.
Of course, I guess it was kind of, you know, leave your change of clothes at home.
True. It is a place that would make sense to keep some clothes.
Nothing was at Lumberjack, and we didn't see anything good from Uncle, and I think that was fairies from the crab pool there. Interesting to see that come into play. Not too many uses for that one. Oh, there's a bomb.
You always take a random bomb. That's going to be quite interesting because I expect what we'll see now is AA will drop down into the well when he gets there. Well, not picking up that red rupee. It's a tough call there. Money is tight in the beginning, but you expect you're going to see a big chest. Ooh, a hook shot. Nice.
The hook shot's a great start. I don't know. I would have taken that 20 bucks there. You have to have, if you don't get any drops, you need 50 bucks to be able to get the bottle vendor with the other 50 that come from Kakariko Well and Blind's house.
Yeah, otherwise you'd have to re-enter. But you expect to see at least 1 money chest in Kakariko, and normally I'd say around 3. So TGH farming some bombs there. That 1 bomb that AA got is gonna pay off for him here. Let's see if he gets a set of bombs from one of these chests. Oh, a sword there. Nice. It's a good thing that TGH farmed 2 bombs there because now he's gonna have to use one at the race game to get going. Silver arrows in Blind's house. And the moon pearl.
Wow. Oh, nice.
A lot of interesting stuff all over the place. And a glove.
Ooh.
Man, already starting out like an egg and seed to me. We are just you know, another sword or a cape plus the lamp away. But then again, we're just a hammer glove away from Dark World access, so
A's gonna have to skip checking the well here because he doesn't have the bombs to do it, and he's exactly 20 rupees short from being able to buy them. So hopefully he could find some here. There's your hammer.
But he's got the hammer. He's got Dark World access. I bet he's gonna go straight to the Dark World here.
Wow, you could actually absolutely do that. That's kind of insane.
Is he gonna farm bombs?
There's a 50-50 drop.
Yeah, there. He is, but he's... Oh, no. Ugh. This is ugly.
Have the money for it. Yeah, this is kind of an unlucky start for skipping that 20. It's gonna cost him more time than he saved by skipping it.
Yep.
Yeah, so very interesting getting Dark World access immediately in Kakariko. I'm a little bit more curious of what TGH is going to do on his side, because since he's coming south to north, he could literally elect to just go ahead and hop right into Death Mountain, considering he has the hook shot and the hammer, and go right to Hera if he opts to. That'd be a very interesting play as well. That's kind of bold to do without a fire source, though.
Yeah, but with all the chests that you have to check between there and here and there,
you could get it, and it might not even be required. And I mean, you get your your mountain save up as well.
Ugh.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
50 rupees behind there. That would have been enough to buy some bombs for sure.
Spread thin farming bombs. Now he's got enough money to buy a house.
Yeah. So now AA is probably gonna go buy some bombs, and then check the Cuckoo House, and then maybe Dark World. We'll see.
hopefully he does go ahead and check the race game too. I know that he's been known to skip it from time to time. That would not be a good play in the situation.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what's gonna happen. I mean, it kind of depends on what comes in the Dark World. If they get the mirror, there's nothing wrong with skipping the race game.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. If he happens just to find the mirror doing that, that'd be even better. Yeah, this is a very interesting seed. Literally 4 minutes in, and they have so many different routes they could take, and I mean, tons of chest, and who knows which one the right one is. Still might have to do all of them.
We should note that the Death Mountain isn't open by logic, because they don't have the lamp for that, but they're both more than capable of handling that cave in the dark.
He's made his way down here, so I doubt he would travel all this way just to skip the race game.
Oh yeah, no. You don't go down there just to check the library.
What? I'll take it. This gave me a little bit of problems in my last match. I'll just go ahead and pick one up early here.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good decision there.
I don't remember seeing the first sword last race, but I know it was the first sword for a very long time.
So TGH heading up here to the forest drop, he'll be getting his hook shot. And again, I'd be really curious. I think it's a really strong play just to head up to the mountain here. I mean, there's no better... You're never going to have a better time just to do it.
With AA save and quitting here, I think he's going to go do the south coast, maybe? Or is he going straight up? No, he's going to go straight up the mountain. Or oh, actually, he'll probably do back of escape first, I suppose.
Back of escape, mountain, or, you know, Dark World, who knows?
Well, not... I don't think you'd save and quit to Sanctuary from race game, but...
TGH is heading to the Dark World here. For a second, I had absolutely no idea what he's doing. He is going to the Dark World immediately.
Nice. Let's see if he does Thieves Town right away. 4 hearts, blue mail.
Ooh.
Oh. That is a very... uninteresting back of escape there. We got the map and the key.
Total Rocks are green pendant. Misery Mire is going to be red, and that was Skull Woods being crystal number 6. And where was the other pendant? I don't know why my brain just failed to register it.
Yeah, I didn't see it all.
And then there's another pendant somewhere. It looks like Ice Palace. The trackers are doing a better job than me, which is pretty standard. Alright, so we'll have a Hype Cave check, whereas TGH is popped right into Skullwoods. 8 minutes in, Skullwoods, not a big deal.
Yeah, ideally for AA here, he would see the mirror so that he could go straight down and do the Moldorm Cave, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of one of the either benefits or detriments of doing Dark World early is you could find the mirror early, or the mirror could just be in the Light World and you know, skip your chance for doing everything super, super efficient.
So we got 20 rupees in Skullwoods. That was the first item, I guess. Looks like there was a big key and a small key in the...
Yeah, that must have been big key, small key, and then $20 and a map.
So 1 item left in Skullwoods. TGH is gonna go ahead and do the middle chest here.
I can't stand this room. Skip those are very annoying, especially if you have green mail doing 2 hearts of damage, but...
Yeah, there's some guys that know exactly the path through here to not get hit by them. I'm not one of those guys.
Me either, but he made that look easy. That was Ether over at Stumpy.
Yep. Pretty significant. Definitely seems like something that could come into play here, but
maybe not.
do we have Ice, Mire, and Turtle Rock as pendants? That is craziness. That's just like that seed from this morning. Did you watch some of the races between Elmegus and
oh god, no, I was in love with my pillow. I was super asleep.
I was too, but I was cheating on it with my phone. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
were cheating
Bennett.
on your pillow with your phone?
Yeah. I was seeing someone else. Yeah, Ben had a 113 or something with the
Yeah.
same pendants, and they weren't. It was never required to enter any of them.
That was going to be my next comment with those pendants not having to go into either of those kind of obnoxiously long dungeons. You can have a very quick time, or this could be one of the longest seeds ever because you got to go into every single one of them.
Yeah, the worst thing about that race this morning was that the bow was at the graveyard ledge, and Elmagus didn't check that, so like he didn't even find the bow before Ben finished. So.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, if you were looking for that, you'd dip into all those other dungeons because the bow's not required for them. That'll get you. So TGH is making the play on Thieves Town with 4 hearts and blue mail still. Kind of hard to tell with his pink layout there. I guess you can tell by the sleeves.
He does have blue sleeves. They're a little off-putting, I think. They clash a bit with the pink.
Important to note, though, he does have, I mean, he is very good at this game, but, you know, sometimes it can get a little tricky, but if he had a little bit more magic, that would almost make this very free because you could use your cape.
Right, but then TGH just took some unwanted damage there from that horse dude.
Yeah, they're kind of obnoxious when they hang out below the scaffolding here and you can't see their movements, and they like to kind of move up and down between them. You have no idea where they're at. Oh, there's the flippers. Okay.
Interesting.
There's a pink buddy. Hey, he'll be getting his map.
So AA is up to 7 hearts.
Yeah, I guess I'd get paid off a little bit for him.
That certainly makes doing Thieves Town seem much less dangerous for him. Especially since he does have the blue mail. I'm not sure it does. I think that needs to be updated on the tracker for him.
There's a good hellway there. Man, that room can just get out of hand so fast, especially if you're not patient with it, too. I probably would have doubled back for that 8 bomb drop there. That would have been real nice to have when you only have 4, but these 2 pots in here do have bombs underneath them. But he is going to have to use one of them to blow a hole in the ceiling here, or the floor.
Man, those lizards do not mess around. I know people call them grasshoppers. They look more like lizards to me always. But I think they can still one-shot him here.
With blue mail, I think they're only going to do 1 heart of damage. Yeah, with green mail, they do 2 hearts of damage. It's really annoying. And then, you know, if you happen to be playing some of the more interesting variants, those take the place of the rats in the sewer, and if somehow you happen to be in the dark world, those rats can actually do 2 hearts of damage.
Yeah, they still look like rats, but they don't hit like rats.
I haven't been counting items. I think we've seen 2, maybe 3. That might have been the 3rd one there. Yeah, he's got a compass, so he'll need to check this big chest here.
Yeah.
Either have the map or the last item.
Compass was in the very first chest, the one that AA just did there, so. A red rupee.
So flippers and bombos in Thieves Town. That'll bring AA's coin collection up to 2 there, having ether already. Certainly not immediately required to have any medallion at all, not even to, you know, have bombos to do Ice Palace, because that's also one of the pendants as well, so.
Yeah, medallions are a weird thing. You never know how they'll help you until you get some, until you get those mitts.
Did you say medallions are like a box of chocolates? Okay, so TGH just didn't bother getting hit on that blind fight, so that was really well done there.
No one's surprised by that, though, really. Given that the guy has tremendous execution and the fight is always predictable.
Yeah, say that until you actually try to do it, man. They make it look so easy, where, you know, I think I could actually be good at this game, and then I play it. It's a completely different story. This is a very difficult game that they somehow make just look brutally simple.
Yeah. So this is pretty close so far. I think by the time TGH wraps up through Hype Cave and AA finishes this dungeon, they're going to be fairly even here. Of course, TGH having checked the uncle already, and AA didn't go up there.
Yeah, but and then the other offsetting difference too is that AA did check the useless chest at the back of Escape as well. Oh, there's our first bottle. Some bees. All right, maybe AA's been down here. Has he not opened these chests yet? Oh, he did come from the north still.
Yeah, he did everything. Everything that can be done in South Dark World has already been done by AA.
Digging game? Wow. 4 hearts and you don't even want a piece of heart. No big deal.
TGH is satisfied with his 4 hearts.
I wish I had that sort of courage.
I think if I have courage in that situation, it's going to be the courage that more hearts are going to show up. Not that I'm going to do the rest of the game with 4 hearts.
That'll be his ether from good old Stumpy. Yeah, TGH has 4 hearts and AA has 8. Literally double. Maybe he did pick up that art piece. There's probably quite a few heart containers over here in the Hype Cave, though. Maybe 1 or 2 in the back of Escape.
That feels like the main thing he's going to be finding here.
So he'll be getting his 20 bucks.
There was a full heart in the back of Escape.
Yeah. Okay, so after this, it'll be curious what decision he elects to make next. Still a lot of really interesting things you could do. You have, you know, Death Mountain, you have the front of Escape, but none of them have done Mini Moldorm yet. That's 5 easy checks as well. The dam is 2 chests, so options there. I think he's probably going to be heading to the back of Escape, though.
You would think so. They're really fast checks. But then after that, maybe go right up Death Mountain? I don't know. In the last race, TJ showed a bit of an unwillingness to sequence break. Like he didn't do the flipper stuff before going to Ganon, whereas AA did everything possible before killing Ganon.
Well, I mean, again, with Hera being a crystal, and then there's, you know, it's probably not exactly 50-50, but roughly that you need a fire source to complete it. And unless they find a flute somewhere, you need a lamp to get up there, so it might be a little bit better not to sequence break in this situation, just to guarantee that you'd be able to complete that dungeon.
Looks like TGH is going to go ahead and do the south coast here. AA, on the other hand, is probably going up Death Mountain.
Yeah, this definitely looks like a mountain posture here. I don't see any other reason for him to be up this way.
TGH just gave up. Like, he could have just pushed the block and then guaranteed that, you know, there's always some chance you're going to mess up that hook shot through the block, right? But yeah.
Whatever. It was kind of silly, but that works.
He's like, oh no, I didn't do the cool thing. I got to start over. Ooh,
I don't think that saved any. That was literally the same amount of time both ways, I'm pretty sure, but that's okay. It still looked cool, so he had that going for him. He's going up the mountain in the dark here.
I think TGH just
Yeah,
Just
he
jump.
he has no bombs right now.
No,
That's
he doesn't.
why I was a little skeptical about not picking up that A drop when you used all those bombs. What did he?
Yeah, where did he use bombs?
Oh, he had
He had
3 bombs
4.
and he had to use 1. He had to use 1 to blow open the hole. He had to use 1 to get into the bombless shack. He had to use 1 and escape.
Yeah. I don't know where that other one was. Well, that's a bit of a routing mistake by TGH for sure.
It's something you take for granted. You really have to be paying attention to all the little things, and like that. Those are things that'll get you sometimes.
Yeah. Old man didn't have much there. Not a big surprise. And just 20 rupees in Spectacle Rock. So.
It is slightly interesting that both of them kind of got punished by not wanting to pick up a little tiny thing that takes no time at all, being the 20 rupees early for A, and TGH just skipping over an 8 bomb drop.
Yeah. Yeah, that 20 rupees was definitely punishing for AA. But TGH, I guess, got the thing he needed. He got some bombs out of the waterfall, so funny how he's probably almost as happy to see that as progression right now. Right, doesn't have to worry about if he should go to that bomb shop by Link's house or something. Oh, he doesn't even have the money for Zora, so yeah, that's it's definitely a bit of a mistake by TGH. So if Zora's required, he's gonna have to make that a separate trip later.
Yeah, he was in the area. He was just really trying to get the most for what he could, opposed to just completely bailing on the route in itself. But
yeah,
very unfortunate he didn't have those bombs. I think that hurt the most.
Got a book in the mini Moldarm cave here. And that's about all for the interesting things.
A book. And that tablet can be checked right now. They can't exactly get the item itself, but they can see what it is because he does have the hammer to get across the pegs to go, to Hera and the tablet itself.
You know the worst situation that can happen right here, basically. Not the worst, but something ridiculous is the basement of Hera having an item and fire source in the spiral cave here. But AA is not even going to go to Hera. That's an interesting decision.
He might do it. He might be wanting to check spiral cave first, just again, because what you said, that fire source there, like, that would be really unfortunate to leave the tool you needed to finish a dungeon behind because you didn't, want to take that extra few transitions.
Yeah, I mean, this is certainly slower, though, to go this way. But maybe it's not that much slower, because you gotta walk across that bridge and back if you do Hera first, so...
The other thing to note with him doing this is he can do Spike Cave.
Spike Cave, yep, that's what he's probably planning.
Not within the, realms of the logic per se at this current moment, but...
No, I think it is. He's got the cape and a bottle.
Do they have half magic attached to it also? I'm not sure.
I know. I think it's either half magic or a bottle.
Okay. Well, TGH wins the coin collecting race.
Dang. If this was like a real hobby that people in the real world would respect, then the coin collecting would be.
What are you talking about?
Are
you saying you don't respect it?
I'm seeing real people might not respect it.
Are you saying you're not a real person then?
No, definitely not a real person.
Alright, so we'll get our tablet check here, and TGH, oh my god, that's
a lamp!
Fire source. Wait, is that a lamp or is that a fire rod?
It's gotta be a lamp. It's gotta be the lamp. No question, is that the lamp?
I think that is the lamp. That's a very peculiar piece of information, because that tells them that the flute is somewhere that's not locked by a lamp or locked by any sort of fire source.
Yeah, and AA is definitely a person who is going to take note of that, that the lamp is readily available.
I mean, there's still a lot of places that
we haven't seen any Moldarm Cave yet, so...
Yeah, unfortunately. We've seen the front door of it, we just haven't seen what's inside of it.
So the basement of, well, we're gonna need another sword too to get that. So another sword and the flute are at large.
That's actually insane. When you were talking about your weird hypotheticals, I was like, I mean, I guess the lamp could be up there. That'd be really silly, but I didn't even want to mention it because that's very unlikely to happen just because of how many requirements would be behind.
AA has he forgot to do the spike cave. I feel like that was a mistake. Doesn't seem like there's any reason not to do spike cave right away. I mean, you'd have to walk outside the dungeon, but
assumes you'll be coming back up here really shortly whenever he finds his flute / other sword. Oh, there's a Cane of Samaria.
That's an interesting find. So we've got Cane of Samaria, we've got 3 medallions.
And they're all
tell me
pendant.
we're gonna stay out of those pendant dungeons? I don't know.
What a lovely seed to do that to you. Here's all the items you are not required for this seed to be in go mode.
Yeah.
We'll give them to you all early.
Mitts aren't even required for all the crystals. We don't need them until we have to get to GT.
Yeah, that's very unusual as well. Wow. Don't see that every day. Yeah, I think it's probably pretty likely that you'll find some progression in 1 or 2 of these pendant dungeons, especially with how front-loaded their required items are being handed to you.
As far as the pedestal goes, we've got the bow and the mirror, and maybe some other item leading to those, or the boots, I suppose, could be at the pedestal.
Yes. Yeah, I think. Should.
So, AA is gonna head over to Eastern, I guess.
I think that's a fantastic play to do at this point. He knows that, again, the flute or another sword are somewhere here. I don't know how hard I would look for the flute, but I would definitely be looking for that other sword just to get the fire source.
Yeah. Well, will he go to Sahasraheel, go to Eastern, maybe Death Warp out, and then head to Pod? Perhaps.
I think that would be pretty solid routing there. More so, I'd just be like, how about you just give me the mirror right here and there? That's kind of what I would be thinking in my mind. But yeah, the other sword and flute could easily be an Eastern and or Pod, so... could be at Zora.
Could be at Zora, that's for sure.
Oh my word, you throw a mirror somewhere in here and then you could be trying to find it over in Swamp Palace. That would just be the worst.
Alright, so now we have some new info. TGH going to Spike Cave, and AA is not going into Eastern. He's gonna go straight to Pod.
This might be a little quicker overall, I think. You know, I mean, unless, of course... I don't know, I guess he'll be walking either way unless he finds the mirror in Pod. So that would be the only one case scenario where, like, you know, he's not going to have to walk back and forth. So this play does kind of...
Right. Yeah. Well, if you don't get the mirror, this is going to result in a lot more walking in the end.
He just has to walk from Link's house to the warp, but I mean, it still takes some time to go into Eastern Death Warp and then walk down to the warp to walk back up. So, I think in the end, it's probably the same amount of time lost, but this has the better chance for time gain.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just really hates Eastern Palace. That's another option.
He really does hate Eastern. That's true. He doesn't hate Eastern by itself. He hates Eastern without the bow.
Of course, yeah, if there's not an item in this first chest here, this could be a very short trip for him as well.
So now what is TGH going to do? He's walking out of here. Is he going to go to Ice Cave? Probably,
Yeah,
I guess.
Probably go walk up, check Ice Rod, or not. You know what? Let's go this way. I think he's heading to the desert.
Could. We'll, at the very least, establish whether its boots blocked. Okay, so we got a key in the first chest in Pod.
I think Desert's a very bold play to be making in this case. I mean, it's got one chest that may or may not have an item or may not lead to him, and then you have a Gina, but it seems like a pretty bold play to be making when you know that your fire source that you need to complete it is at
there's our
large.
second sword.
Okay, well, maybe this will work out then.
That's one ingredient that we were missing. We still need that that flute, though. How do you feel about if you're in this situation? Like, you'd want to have your fire source when you go into desert, right? So, do you check a Gina just in case he's got your fire source? But he'd have to have the fire out at this point, and that does seem pretty unlikely. I think that desert is not going to be completable right now, even if it has progression.
There could be anything at a Gina. I'd still check it. Not necessarily the just for the fire source.
Yeah, TGH walked out the wrong door there, I think, got a little.
I mean, I think
Mixed
he
up.
was thinking about grabbing the sword and then going back just to get these two chests, but that probably wouldn't work out for him because he's probably going to find the big key here, then have to walk back anyways. But this exit over here is nice because it's right next to a Gina.
Yeah.
Seen anything important in Pod so far?
Yeah, it's a little hard to watch in Pod with the dark rooms and whatnot. Plus, we got the sound over on TGH distracting us.
Map, that's probably not too important. At least he's getting some good information out of Desert. That was one item so far, and it's not boots locked in any situation either.
No, but we can see what's up on the torch, and it's just $5. So
no point in checking the big chest in. That'll just be their compass or map.
oh, what was his first item in desert?
There was a heart container.
Okay.
The cannonball chest.
AA is having a little trouble negotiating the dark maze here. This is clearly not where the flute is going to be.
No, yeah, there won't be a flute here, or the sword that he's specifically looking for by logic. But that doesn't mean that any of the other ones could be there.
Yeah, there can
the
be a
flute's
whole bunch of
interesting
required
'cause-
things there.
Yeah. The flute's the interesting one, because that's kind of the one you can skip to get your first fire source, but the sword was very much required.
So that sword at Desert Ledge was the one required thing that TGH got in that little jaunt there. It's looking like Eastern is the play to me.
Yeah, there's Eastern and, man. Yeah. Very time-consuming death warp here.
Yeah,
Why?
gonna take 4 more bombs.
Is this a death warp just to check Pyramid and Catfish?
I think he's missed something inside.
Unless
Maybe.
he didn't do the.
I think he maybe
marker op.
skipped the big key chest, and he's gonna go back and check it now with his last key. Like, he didn't want to lock himself out of the back, but he's gonna go ahead and check that chest now. Could be the bow right here.
Yeah, I guess that's okay with how the small keys have worked. I might have missed a little
And
bit
that
of
wasn't worth the
nothing.
time, obviously.
Yeah. That was a long death warp for a compass there.
Yeah. I think if you would have told him it was the compass, then he would have chose against it. But
I think you might be right on that one as well. So he'll be doing the front of the escape. TGH
Yeah.
didn't check the Dark Sewers chest, so I'm imagining that he either didn't want a death warp or it was the map. I don't remember seeing the map.
so, TJH did do all of the front of escape though.
Yeah, he did make it all the way to the ball and chain guard.
Okay. I don't remember that, but I trust you.
I wouldn't. No, I'm pretty sure he did. He looked at his inventory and he noped out of the sewer's chest.
So at this point, do we almost know that the flute is either in Eastern or at Zora?
There's also catfish and then pyramid, of course.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then you could just outright find the mirror, and then that could pull it to some other locations as well.
True, true. Or other fetch quest items.
Yeah, someone
The
said they
myths. The
haven't
myths
checked
would be pretty big.
well.
The myths would put that the flute in Ice Palace, for example.
Well, that's no fun.
What if Fire Rod's in Hera too?
It seems the lamp likes to lock the fire rod these days. Okay, so he's quitting at the big chest. I think that was all 3 items there.
Yeah, TGH could go back up to
Yeah, it's a
he could go back up to Hera now and get the lamp, and then
finish Hera.
Right.
It's such a tough call because it's a very time-consuming process to go all the way around.
Right.
And while they're doing the search for the flute here, which is what I think he's probably doing because he knows it's got to be somewhere around. If he outright finds the mitts or the mirror or anything like that, it makes it that much more efficient when he's up there because he can check the dark world and then or he can just take the shortcut up there. So I think that's why he's kind of being a little bit diligent in his exploration opposed to getting to a point where he could actually clear 2 crystal dungeons right now. But Desert's kind of worthless because he's just going to get the crystal out of it.
I wonder what AA is up to here.
I'm not sure. Is this going to be a
He's lost, clearly. He's checking the sign for direction.
Which way to Kakariko? Okay,
he's farming money
for
for
Zora.
the... Yeah, alright. Maybe he just wanted to check the stun drop, perhaps, right there.
Oh, I think, yeah, you're right. That's what he did. He was checking the stun drop. So that was 5 rupees for the stun drop.
This is our first sick kid check?
Yes.
Just a piece of heart.
Stole
That guy feels like he's a disappointment more often than not these days.
I mean, we just stole his last remaining bit of life. I feel like that's kind of on us. Oh, and he did get that powder over in Pod, I believe. So,
Yeah, he did. It was in the big chest in Pod, so this is obviously not going to be the flute here, but doesn't mean it can't be something else good.
This is pretty good for AA right now that TGH is opting to explore Pod and
Right.
no nice way to say it, but waste time in the same sort of fashion.
Yeah. Yeah, since we know that that's not the answer. So TGH went into Eastern and didn't find anything.
No.
Right. Huh. Okay, so is the answer at Zora then?
Zora? Catfish?
Zora and Catfish and Pyramid. And
I think one of them did go and check the pyramid.
yeah. And so this is good for AA. He's got the chance for something to happen here. We know that I don't remember what the hobo has. I remember there was a bomb upgrade and bombs. Oh, TGH checked the pyramid already. Oh, there's the $20 that AA needed. Nice. Now he's all set for Zora.
Yeah, that's handy, but yeah, the 5 rupees being on the stun drop he would have been alright either way. But that saves him from having to murder 4 innocent creatures.
AA does still need to go to desert and get his sword, though, of course.
Oh yeah, he's still looking for that one as well. It's kind of unfortunate too, but if the flute happens to be immediately here at Zora, that'll make picking that up for him pretty efficient.
You know what would be nice is the mirror, and then...
What? I don't know, man. I think the mirror, if that's the sword you're going to be looking for, I would hope to not find the mirror, because that could really take you away from it. You find the mirror, and all of a sudden, this seed kind of looks like go to Swamp Palace.
Yeah, but they're going to be going in there eventually anyway.
That's true.
I'm just thinking about if he goes to Swamp, then he might go to Bombos and Desert from there.
That's actually a pretty good route then. It's alright. Alright, what's the fishman gonna have for us today? It's the bow. Oh no. Wow. That's so unfortunate.
It's gotta be bow locked in pod.
Well, we still have catfish, of course,
we do, but it seems likely at this point that the answer is bow locked in pod. We know it's not in Eastern. Because there's no... You need the lamp for that.
This is pretty fortunate.
So AA is going to do Eastern first. Yeah, it's fortunate for him for sure that he didn't go into Eastern without the bow, because now he's going to be able to full clear it.
Yes. It's a very quick full clear too. You grab the first 4 chests, have the big key in the item, and then you can go straight to Armos. He's not going to get anything from it, but after that, I would imagine he'll probably go ahead and hop down to the portal, and then he can clear out Pod as well. Which will be interesting, because, you know, if it is his flute, he can elect to, turn in his flute, get his sword, then go get his lamp, or he can go ahead and finish Pod in the dark without a fire rod or fire source. The turtle room can be kind of menacing.
Yeah, TGH is short money for Zora, but that's not a big deal because he knows that the stun drop is 5 rupees and he can get that money easily. Oh, TGH looks like he's going to head up to Terra. I
think the bow being at Zora is a very big deal for TGH right now because that's a very low priority place for him to check. It's very time consuming just for one item, and that bow is very much required.
Yeah, since he already checked everything else up there, that's great. We'll see if the bow blocks the mirror or something, because otherwise Catfish and Zora might be good to pair together at some point for TGH. But yeah, that bow is pretty out of the way for TGH right now, for sure.
He's only missing 9 rupees to be able to obtain it if he decides to go there, but I actually don't think he knows what the stun drop is. I saw AA check it, I haven't seen him check it.
Oh, I thought he did.
I could be wrong.
Well, either way, he's going to Hera. He'll likely end up getting some money or something. So I don't know if there was an item left in Eastern either. I think
no. The big key and the 3 items were in the first 4 chests, so he can just go ahead and open this chest and
oh, nice.
Head on to Armos.
This is a much less scary Dark Eastern than AA had last seed.
Yeah.
Where they had like 4 hearts. So.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. You noticed he was kind of shooting arrows forward, and once he notices that one that doesn't hit the back wall, it means it's stuck in that Igor, so he can kind of track its movement. Because that's the one you need for the key. I find the most difficult part of that room, though, is not killing the Igor, but lifting up that pot at the end. It's kind of in a weird clip.
It is weird. I don't know why lifting pots in the dark is so strange. Definitely is there. So TGH setting up the easiest death warp to set up in the game, and it drives me nuts when I see people do this and not have the mirror, not take any hits from these tiles.
Yeah, it would just be really unfortunate if he, accidentally died a little bit too early. But, runners of these caliber, they probably wouldn't make that mistake. But, it can be kind of stressful.
Alright, so AA learned that Eastern's not the answer. I expect we'll see him head straight back into pod here. TGH got his big key. He'll be going upstairs. So, man.
I'm really hoping it's the mirror, not the flute, or the mitts.
Yeah, I think if I'm AA, I'm hoping that it's the fire rod, because otherwise he's gonna have to do that turtle room in the complete dark.
Oh, the fire rod would be really nice. I mean, that actually takes away any incentive you have to even want to go up there and get that lamp.
Well, not any, but most of it, yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna make a special trip to go do it unless you're really banking on Hera having something, and that was a piece of heart. So,
right, you've already got the small shield out of there. Can't get much better than that.
I'm not sure if TGH has checked Spiral Cave yet, so I think he might double back to go do that, unless I did completely miss it.
I'm not sure either.
At this point, though, he is spread really thin on options.
Oh my goodness. That TGH came so close to falling down the middle hole there.
Nah, these runners are too good to fall in the middle hole also. That's something that they don't do either.
Yeah, I'm sure that never happens to anyone.
Alright, so both our runners tied at 2 crystals here. AA having a glaring advantage, having the bow and knowing where, or where, getting that, so he can go ahead and finish up this 3rd crystal being pod if he can take care of the turtle room in the dark. TGH has a little bit more of a puzzle on his hand because he just has nothing really left for him, I think, except for Catfish and Zora, and I think he's heading that way.
Yeah, is he going to Zora? Because he doesn't have the money for Zora.
If he hasn't checked Tobo yet, oh, there's the mirror. Oh no. Oh, I think Ice Rod Cave too. Yeah, he hasn't checked Ice Rod Cave, that's right. Because he went over to Desert.
Yeah, that's right. He made that interesting play. I don't think I've ever seen someone go to Mini Moldarn Cave and then walk to Desert. So, this is a bit of a little moment of truth for AA here. I remember, what race was that really was the difference in the race, where someone died trying to do this turtle room in the dark? It was in one of the later races in the group stages.
I think it was Elminster, maybe versus ACMLM or something of that sort.
No, that's not the one I'm thinking of, but I know that Elm had trouble in the dark rooms.
I think we've had almost 400 tournament races so far, so I'm struggling to recall which one that might be.
Yeah.
Well, TGH has the perfect amount of money to go ahead and get his bow.
Yeah, he got his money, I guess. So that's good news for him. Wonder what would have happened if he would have been stuck on like 498 there.
Well, the only thing he would have to do is boomerang one of these crabs or Zora people, and that would have taken care of that for him. Or he could have just slaying their whole entire race for the off chance that he gets a drop there. That looked like a nice total kill there, though, on AA's side. I think I saw 3 of them die.
Yeah, he's hammering the ground to flip him over and then using bombos to kill him. And it's a good move. You gotta just take care of them. Are they all dead already?
I think so.
No, they're not.
I don't think he needs to be using bombos right now. I know either Ether or Quake kills them outright too, and it's a little bit of a shorter cast time. Yeah, I think Ether, yeah, it's literally like half the time. But he did make it past, that's the most important thing, so... Onto his Helmosaur fight, and he's... he's got the offset mirror spots to check, or he can just go ahead and go to Swamp outright. I think that's probably the better play of the two.
Yeah, you go to Swamp for sure. It's a dungeon, it's required.
Of course, it'd be very interesting if that's where the
the flute is?
Or the no, if the flute's like somewhere at Catfish, and he somehow doesn't make his way to Desert before finding a sword somehow. It's a very low percentage chance, and actually, I do think you're right when you say that he'll go into Swamp, go ahead and roll over to Bombos, and then head into Desert after that. 'Cause he hasn't checked the Gina either, so that'd be a pretty smart route from him. With or without our hindsight of knowing where everything is.
Yeah. Looked like he was maybe thinking a little about what to do there, but he's heading towards Swamp. So what do we still need here? We don't need the boots, as far as we know.
Just the fire rod? And the mitts.
Hey, yeah, the mitts for just to get into GT.
That's interesting. Yeah, so just the fire rod and the mitts, and technically you would be in go mode in this situation.
If this were entrance shuffle, they could already be in go mode, potentially.
That's very true, actually. Oh, wow.
They'd still need the lamp.
Well, TGH has the lamp.
Yeah. But, I mean, AA would need a sword to get the lamp.
I wonder if they realize they have silvers.
Yeah, AA switched to silvers, but TGH does not realize. So
he's gonna do it the old-fashioned way here. He could have saved a little time there, but again, wanted to look cool by doing it the standard way.
It's like, I'm good at this game. No, I think he just forgot.
As long as he doesn't forget come Ganon time, you can take the seconds here and there, but unfortunately, I think forgetting you have silvers on Ganon might be a little too time costly. Oh, there are the
mitts, yeah. Wow.
Alright, so that
really opens up our search space for the flute now.
You can kind of upset at this flute at this point. You might not even need it at all.
Oh. It's true, you might not, but it's still it's just interesting to think about the logic that the seed intended you to use.
It'd be very interesting if AA happens to stumble across the fire rod in this seed, because it comes down to a point where he's not looking for any of that stuff. He'll just be looking for a sword.
Yeah, for sure. We are just looking for the fire rod now. I mean, they might need the mitts in GT, but or not the mitts, but the boots in GT.
Oh yeah, that is a very improbable possibility as well. That'd be really fun too.
Yeah.
Oh, what if the boots were on the pedestal? How awesome would that be? You thought you were going to get away from having to do these 3 ridiculous dungeons? Not a chance.
And that fire rod is just looming very large right now, and it's kind of similar to the last seed. They were just Fire Rod was their go mode last seed too. So AA skipped the left side there, huh? Which makes sense.
If Argus has the big key, kind of pretty much a time save, and then if the big key's on the left side, it's a time waste, and then if you just don't need to do the left side at all, you know, it's a time save, and then...
Well, I say it makes sense because if he gets the Fire Rod, then...
Well, he still needs a sword.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, but just like last seed, he's gonna be willing to go to GT and hope that the sword shows up on the way. So...
It's very strange, though, to have 2 seeds in a row where you have the Master Sword. I usually end up finding every single item in the game. 4 swords, silvers, red mail, 35 hearts, and I'm just looking for an ice rod. But the items that they're looking for is pretty nice for their situation, though, because almost all but eliminates Turtle Rock from being a possibility. I mean, there's still a very low percentage chance that could be what they're looking for, and until they track down the flute, you're not going to find any progress in Mire. The mitts do kind of open up Ice Palace, though, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, Fire Rod could certainly be in...
Yeah, Ice Palace, yeah.
Fire Rod could certainly be in Turtle Rock, too. And if it's not there, then they'll usually get blocked by pretty quickly, so it's not a bad place to search for the Fire Rod at all.
Yeah, low percentage chance, but I mean, it's... you won't have to full clear the whole dungeon, and if you do have to full clear the whole dungeon, it's probably there. Yeah, this is a fun strategy for Argus with the fighter sword here. The spin slash or the regular slashes don't do any damage. You have to spin to kill them.
If you don't take into account menu time, then it is faster to switch to the hammer. But menuing back and forth doesn't really make that strat faster. So. And the map there. So, I don't know if we got the compass or not, but there are at least 2 items still inside of here. You think it's likely that it goes back in.
Did you see the big key yet?
Yeah, the big key was in the bottom section of the basement. If there's a game 3, it's not going to be tonight.
TGH following suit, and he'll be doing his Swamp Palace, and pretty much the big difference between both of them right now is TGH has already finished up Hera, and AA hasn't, but AA could literally save Hera for last, and that's a fantastic dungeon to save while you're on your way marching to Ganon's Tower, because I mean you just mirror back to the Dark World and you're at the front door. It's very efficient
and very satisfying too, for sure.
And the only way that would really come back to hurt him is if the fire rod can't be a big bomb, so he wouldn't have to worry about that. And then say the fire rod was somewhere in lamp locked and Misery Mire, but outside of that, you know, the lamp doesn't seem like it would be absolutely mandatory to get in this situation.
Yeah, AA can handle all the dark rooms. He's done the hardest dark rooms at this point. The next hardest one would be in Misery Mire, which that seems very unlikely to happen now, but you know, maybe Vitreous drops the fire rod. That's certainly possible.
That would take some interesting circumstances to happen too. You'd have to not have the big key on the left side in Misery Mire in that case.
No, you can have the lamp. You need the lamp for the basement anyway, so...
Well, I mean, yeah, but he'd have to go get the lamp. That's all. I was just
Oh.
trying to go over situations where he wouldn't have.
Oh, yeah, where you don't need the lamp. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, so would you... that'd be fun. An interesting situation. You go into Mire without the lamp. I think you'd probably end up doing Hera before that, wouldn't you? And getting the lamp.
Yeah, I mean, the item they got in Hera was pretty early, right? So he knows that there's only one item.
Oh,
There's
there's the flute.
Oh god, that's actually great for him, I think, because that'll pull him toward his sword.
Yeah.
And then he can go have fun in Mire if he wants to. Also,
He's not going to Bombos. Is he gonna go right to Ice Palace? I think he had already made up his mind about what he was doing. And then, yeah.
All right.
We're going to Ice. This is quite the play here. This might be the game.
You do commonly see the Fire Rod and Ice Palace, especially when it does give you bombos and all that good stuff.
Yeah. If nothing else, maybe he'll find a sword here, or the boots. Those are helpful things.
Any of those would help him progress.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe AA thinks that he was mistakenly given the same seed twice in a row.
There's that too. You should be looking for the Fire Rod and Ice Palace again.
We'll see if he beelines the top right chest. I've seen the Fire Rod in that specific chest more than once though. But I've played an unhealthy number of seeds, I'm sure.
I think what I'm most curious to see is if if he does find the Fire Rod here, some sort, if he actually manages to find the sword on Desert Ledge, because you kind of want to sneak in the back way to actually, he hasn't been in Desert at all.
TGH took the big key back upstairs. I'm not a fan. Did he avoid the double stairs, or did he have to do it? I don't think you can avoid the double stairs without the boots.
I'm not too familiar with how that haunted staircase works.
It's not a good play, I don't think, to take the big key back upstairs, especially without the boots. Not when you have to have the mirror, obviously, in Swamp, so you can just go back in afterwards and open it. And it was clearly a waste of time because it was just the compass, so he could have just gone to the boss and been satisfied with the dungeon then.
He does have the option to outright skip left side. There's a flute there, and I mean that flute could potentially lock the Fire Rod, but I mean if that flute doesn't specifically lock the Fire Rod or anything that does lock it, it is something that is not required to see. And then you also have just the outright time loss of not having efficient movement by using the flute. So I don't know if it would be better to skip it or not skip it. I think he goes back in the dungeon, though. I'm not sure, though. Was it a dungeon item in the big chest?
Yeah, it was the compass.
Okay, so he knows that there's 2 items left in the dungeon then, after he gets his map here.
Yeah.
The Ice Palace has not been too rewarding so far, but we are kind of getting to the meat and potatoes portion of it.
I think Ice Palace is its own reward.
I'm not sure what that means.
So what is he? He is skipping the flute.
Oh boy.
That is quite interesting. What is he gonna do from here? He doesn't have many options at this point.
Is this going to be...
Is he going to Turtle Rock or something? Or no, that doesn't make any sense.
This could be the Smith sequence into a Bombos check.
Yeah.
God, if you manage to do all this, you might as well just, finish up Desert. Well, he doesn't know. He still might think he'll come across the flute at this point. Now the flute could literally be anywhere in his mind, so...
Yeah. Well, if the flute is required, that is absolutely huge for AA, of course.
Yes.
But if the fire rod is at Smithy or something, then, game over, so...
And they also have Dark Death Mountain that they haven't explored at all, so that is 7 easy checks as well. And AA just left Ice Palace, so I don't think he got anything good out of there. It was probably 3 quick items.
Yeah, there's no way he left there before getting 3 items, so he's gonna go activate his flute now and then probably head to Mire.
I think so.
And I'm sure he'll do Desert first. And get his sword.
Hopefully he doesn't forget about that ledge. It's been known to happen to some of our runners, but...
He doesn't seem the kind of person to forget about that.
I certainly hope not. It's a red rupee and hammer pegs. This is going to be a very interesting, I think, last 15-20 minutes here, because they're both going to be doing completely different things, and we just need that one item right now, so any of these checks could be it, for all we know.
It was red. It was the right color. So AA already did this, right? Oh, yes. We don't have powder marked down for TGH.
Yeah, he got it. He went through pod, so he would have gotten his powder. But
yeah,
he's not going to get any use out of it, at least from this check.
Right. So now we can hold more arrows.
Nothing in Mire Shed, so there's only...
What's
3 items left that are open to that flute.
Yeah. So we've got some more mirror spots left to check too. There's
he's walking down, so he'll get his
South
sword.
Grave and north of the graveyard. And then we've got the checkerboard cave, of course, to check too. But no reason not for AA not to go into a desert here and take a look at that, since he still has to finish it. Regardless.
It's really good information for him too, because he doesn't know if he needs the boots or not, but he will know very quickly that they are not required. And he's just a fire rod away from being in go mode once again.
There's nothing there.
What worries me a little bit about TGH is if I was playing, I would be holding out for the flute, and if it ends up not being required, I don't think he's going to find it, but this means that if he wants to finish Desert, now is his best chance to do it, and I'm not sure if he's going to do it right here. That's going to be kind of a long walk back.
He's probably going to want to chuck Bombos right here, so I don't know how you check Bombos and don't go finish Desert right away.
Because if you get the flute, then you can just go ahead and backdoor it, opposed to having to open it, walk all the way around the dungeon just to get to the outside. And he might think that the flute's going to be around the corner.
Yeah. Interesting. So did AA not finish?
No,
Desert?
He just got both items and left also.
Okay, so he's going to go do Dark Death Mountain and maybe pop into Turtle Rock before checking Mire, I guess. So, which is good news for him because, if the flute's or if the fire rod's up here, then and TGH would get it long before he gets whatever is in Mire.
And AA couldn't finish.
He can't finish Desert.
Yeah, because he hasn't got his lamp yet. He finally just got his fire source so he could go do it.
Right.
So that means he's going to probably finish up Harrow.
All these little details.
It was a very unusual string of situations for him to get that.
Yeah, I think we gotta give a sword 2 to AA on the tracker there.
Like, the game literally opened up the whole entire seed before, you know, he found the exact path to how he was supposed to sequence break up the mountain to get his first fire source. And this is a good play for TGH that he did elect to go into desert, because this was his best time to do it with the information we know that he skipped the flute. However, if the fire rod ends up being in checkerboard or in mire, that really is going to hurt his run quite a bit, because I don't see him going back to swamp anytime soon.
Yeah, ooh, tempered. In Hookshot Cave, that's a welcome sight.
He didn't even.
Hey,
that's
come
the
on,
worst.
man.
He didn't even need to get that Master Sword on the Desert Palace ledge to get his lamp.
Yeah, maybe that was the intended second sword. Who knows?
No, that one couldn't have been it. Well, I guess actually it could have been.
With the flute.
Wow,
Sure.
this silly game. TGH has the silvers equipped, so that's something else we can not have to worry about for the rest of the run. You remembered he had them.
Ray, unfortunately, is not going to be able to do the straight Hera to Ganon's Tower play. So the fact that AA did not find the fire rod there is good news for him. Like, basically, he wants to see the fire rod in mire.
Yeah, that would be the best case scenario for him. TGH heading out of Link's house here. This makes me believe he's probably going to be doing his Ice Palace play next. After this, TGH, I think all he has left is Graveyard Mirror Spot, and then he can go to the mountain in Turtle Rock, which will be the one thing we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. He would, I think he'd go up the mountain before doing the graveyard ledge.
Yes. I would think so too. I don't know, maybe you want to do that one spot though before you fully commit to, you know, something that's that time consuming, but there's obviously more checks up the mountain.
Yeah, it's time consuming because there's a lot of stuff to do up there, so.
So we know he won't find anything in Ice Palace, and I think after this, I mean, AmazingAmpharos, he's looking at either Turtle Rock or Mire being his play.
Yeah, Turtle Rock sounds good to me. You're already up here.
He also has the escort mission as well. I don't think he took care of those, so.
Yeah. But I can't imagine that would be a priority for him. I would be really surprised if he did that before going into Mire, doing checkerboard. When you find an item on the left side, you've got to have a little bit of that in the back of your mind, that maybe that's giving you an advantage. Left side of swamp, that is.
Given the knowledge we know, I mean, he doesn't exactly know that. And TGH skipped it as well. I don't necessarily think he's known for that either.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him what his mindset was right there, because he should have known there were 2 items left.
I bet if we ask him, he's probably going to say, I figured he skipped it too. Knowing what we know, though, it's probably most advantageous if AmazingAmpharos goes to Turtle Rock right after this, because that kind of undercuts any play that TGH would be able to make to, I guess, retake the lead right now. even though it's kind of up for a gamble who's ahead and who's behind right now, it really just depends
Yeah, it
where
really
that
depends.
fire rod actually is.
Right. It's gonna be super close potentially, or maybe not close at all if it's in Mire.
Yes. But I mean, if it's not in Mire and it's actually in Turtle Rock and AA doesn't go there, that could be really interesting as well. Depends on what he wants to do here. He's got his hammer out, so I think he is going to make the play on Spike Cave.
Spike Cave, yeah. Not going to Turtle Rock yet.
I think it'd be really a shame if the fire rod wasn't Turtle Rock, because I think he would go there in this situation. Because
I don't know why he's not going there.
I think he had intended to check Spike Cave a lot earlier when he
was in here the first time.
Yeah, I think you were right on that, and I think finding the lamp on the tablet kind of threw him off his original plan there a little bit.
He's going to Turtle Rock though, so he's
got a yeah.
Oh no, he's got the flute out. Never mind. Oh man, so right now it's gonna be Mire versus Turtle Rock for this fire rod.
Yeah, and I mean this could really decide the race, but
of course we've still got 2 one-offs as well.
Graveyard.
Graveyard Ledge, and we'll see if AA actually goes to the checkerboard cave first.
He'll check checkerboard, of course.
Oh, wait, is he gonna finish desert?
Yeah. This makes sense for him too. You might as well finish desert while you're here, and then you check checkerboard and do Mire.
Sure.
Yeah, it's basically a race to the fire rod right now, so I really have no idea who's going to come out ahead on this one. I mean, both the locations they're trying to find it seem terrible, so... Alright, so Ice Palace came up empty, and TGH is pretty much resorting to one of the few options he knows that are left available to him. I think at this point, though, skipping those 2 items in the swamp is probably looming a little bit in the back of his mind.
For sure.
I guess no one has checked Catfish yet. Is that true? Tell me it ain't so.
Do you really think it's at Catfish?
I mean, why not?
It could be. It certainly could be.
This is a randomizer after all.
I guess that's just as likely as the Graveyard Ledge. Alright, AA is going to go do his checkerboard cave, so we get to see something new here. Just bombs there.
It's a handful of blueberries in the checkerboard cave.
Alright, it's really down to Mire versus Turtle Rock right now, with an outside chance of scrambling for Overworld after.
Yeah, you got a 50-50 for Mire or Turtle Rock with a chance of Catfish or Graveyard. Seems fun. The boots are an interesting item as well that could unlock a couple other spots for him. Yeah, AmazingAmpharos has indeed checked the Mire shed, so in this area Mire is the only thing left available to him. At least they didn't have to worry about what medallions were required to open either of these, since they had basically all of those before they had any other progression. An interesting thing about Turtle Rock, though, is you do need a very specific pattern of keys to be able to progress forward in this dungeon if you don't have a fire rod. If there's not a small key in this first chest, you don't get to go any further. That's it. It's basically like being bow-locked in pod.
Right, you need a small key in the first chest, and then you need a small key in the second chest, and then the big key in the third chest. Yeah.
All right, well, there's one.
But even without the big key in the third chest, you can get to the Mimic Cave with 2 small keys in a row.
Oh, you can? Yeah, I guess you could. Interesting.
So this is a big chest here. AA's got the big key, of course, by the way. Boots! Oh my goodness.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Alright. Well, jeepers, man. They seem pretty significant.
I know, it really does. It's got that feel. There's a compass.
Oh, man. So, AA hasn't cleared out the rest of the dungeon. I'm surprised he's not doing all the other chests before going to the left side, but...
he's checked, he's only missing...
Has he already seen the map? I guess if he's already seen the map, that would certainly be a way to... or a good
Maybe he has
reason
the
to do
big
this,
key.
but...
You got the big key in the, second chest.
Yeah. He definitely hasn't done the big chest, though. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's kind of nicer to flip the switch. That way you can kind of get both those weird chests at the same time.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can do the chest
You can do this room
on the top, and then go around, and then just come back here at the end.
Okay, well, those boots, I mean, they're nice to have, but that's all the value that they're going to add. So now we have either it's fire rods in Mire, or it's in one of these mirror spot locations.
Yeah, the TGH has to be going to do the north of Graveyard and the catfish right now.
And AA has found literally every single item that has no value in Mire so far. Oh man, where's it gonna be? It couldn't have been here the whole time, could it? I'm leaning on Mire, but I don't know.
More small keys.
There's 2 chests left.
And well, we got a Vitreous. Vitreous is not outside logic, that's for sure.
Oh my god, he can't do Vitreous still, can't he? Oh, that's horrible.
I mean, AA doesn't know it, but it's a great place for the fire to be for his sake.
Anywhere here is pretty good for him.
Yeah. And it's not north of the graveyard.
Where is it? Is it going to be the big chest? I'm feeling pretty good about this one.
There it is. Well, that is pretty much good game there. I think we'll see you in game 3.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage for AA right now. Yeah. So TGH is going to have to, come up empty on Catfish here, make his way all the way to Swamp, activate his flute, and then, you probably check the quick things first. Yeah, this is going to be a rough time for him to catch up here.
No, they're not doing game 3 tonight. I mean, unless they decide to, it wouldn't be unheard of for either of them to do 3 races in a row or race this late in the evening. But
TGH knows he's not in a good spot right now because his last check right now is Swamp Palace. He doesn't check South the Grove. I'm not sure where he's going right now. Oh, is it going to be that Dark Sewers chest I've been curious about? I think it is.
What could that possibly be? I think the worst case for him would be like
Mushroom or Shovel.
Yeah, Mushroom or Shovel. Mushroom leading to Shovel.
I think Shovel leading to Mushroom would be the worst. At least with the Shovel, you're kind of close by where you need to be. I just hope this isn't a map. That'll be really disappointing.
No, the map was in the back.
Okay.
Map and the key were both in the back.
Oops.
10 arrows, nice.
Alright, now we realize that we've made a mistake by doing the left side skip. Sometimes it could save you 2 minutes in your run, and sometimes it could completely end your run, and this is a case of that situation. Really unfortunate when it happened.
Yeah, this is the point where if you're racing, you're kind of half thinking, do I forfeit? I mean, it's a tournament race, or... and just kind of waiting for the dot done for the rest of the race.
Something else we've kind of neglected to, you know, it's a very low percentage chance to theorize, but what if the big key's on the torch?
Oh, yeah, big key on the torch would be huge, but I think AA would immediately go to Turtle Rock in that case.
Why? Why wouldn't he check the whole entire dungeon?
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. He would do he would do GT first, but after he clears the basement, then he would go to Turtle Rock right after that.
I think that would be an equalizer right there. It's a very low percentage chance, but I think the time that it's going to take him to clear out all of GT, that would probably give TGH his fire rod and be up there, and he would have the big key instantly.
Yeah, especially since AA is not going to have boots and TGH is, like, as far as just speed and checking things goes. Oh, did someone do the start thing?
Yeah, you can do it. I've actually had my bot privileges revoked for some incidents in the past.
Oh my goodness. I don't know all the commands. I know I do the start, so let's do that. Maybe it didn't work for me. Maybe my bot privileges were revoked. Did I do it right?
But yeah, now we're on the guessing game here, number 1 through 22, which is where the big key is going to land in Ganon's tower. If the bot worked, we could give a little bit of a shout out on the leaderboard for correct guesses, but irregardless, you know, correct guesses, you can still claim your rightful prize, that being Herfy Durfy's love and affection.
Yeah, Skullwoods should be marked. It's AA is done with Skullwoods.
I'm sure you're probably not. I'm really hoping for a big key on the torch. I want to see a little bit of brain scrambling here. That's got to be a very unsettling feeling.
I mean, I think you know my personal feelings. I think I know who you would probably root for in this one as well, but...
I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm just... I don't want it to be over. Alright, so AmazingAmpharos entering in Ganon's tower, and TGH will be finding his flute. Was it on this side or was it the other side?
If it's on the torch, there's no way that AA doesn't go to Turtle Rock immediately after checking GT. I'm positive of that. Ice Rod.
Pretty unfortunate there. Yep, he found it literally in the last spot he could check for the flute, and now we have our moment of truth. AA is heading down to the torch, and it is just a shield, so he can probably live without that one.
Yeah, he'll make an exception this time.
So he's in a commanding lead for this race right now. He's definitely in the driver's seat. Tempered sword, silver arrows. I don't know if he has too many safeties as far as bottles and all that go, but he's definitely more than competent to be able to take care of this gauntlet and Ganon fight.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got the powder, and he's got tempered and silver, so I think that'll be enough to get him through.
He's got a shovel too, so that can help out as well.
Yeah, I've tried shovel strats on Ganon before. They're not that effective.
Okay. You guys heard it from Jay Coper. The shovel is not the desired weapon to be using on Ganon. big key inside yet. I haven't been keeping track of chest. I think that would be 2, 6, 7, 8. So I guess we're on 9.
Sounds right. 9 will come in here.
TGH will be doing his checks here. He's fortunately not going to be finding his fire rod until he commits over to Meyer, which, why would you want to do it when you have these quick checks here? But
I mean, you could do it if you're just convinced that these are wrong. And that the
it's true.
fire rod is inside.
People do that.
Yeah. There is just a little bit of a bias towards the dungeons, so...
Even though this is...
You certainly weren't surprised. There was a big key right there.
And I think that was chest number 13.
13 or 12?
Good question. I guess that was chest number 12. I'm going to defer to chat on that one. I'm a little under the weather, so I can't count right now.
Chat is saying 12.
I'm going to listen to them.
Yeah.
However, if someone guessed 13 and they want to say it was chest number 13, I'm not going to argue with you either. We can all be winners today. Oh, this is... TGH wanted to pull out his fire rod to do this room. I don't think you'd be able to do that right now because you're still looking for it.
Oh, the cruel irony.
So he'll be making his way through his gauntlet here. You'd think he was in a hurry, but I guess not. He's kind of just casually strolling along through the entirety of Ganon's Tower. I think someone needs to let him know this is a speed run.
Some of these rooms without the boots can be pretty painful.
Yeah, the rooms with the guards kind of patrolling on the tight little corridors with no safety railings, those are a little obnoxious.
Yeah, they're suddenly more of an obstacle than something you just blow through and maybe occasionally get knocked off by, but if you get knocked off, normally you just reload. You don't have to actively hit them out of your way. Well, you have the boots.
We'll see what routing TGH elects to do here in Meyer. AA did kind of make it a little tough on himself with the route that he took because it was one of the last chests he could have checked. He's going the other way, so he'll probably get it a little quicker, but he's still a full Skullwoods clear behind, and then also finding his big key, which if he takes the same route that he did last time, he'll find it a little bit slower than AA did.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was about last time that made them both go right.
Yeah, sometimes you just have a feeling. 3 cycle, 1 arrow for each cycle there.
I think part of the reason for AA last time might have been the fact that he was looking for that sword. There's his fire rod. That is go mode for TGH.
Wow, you know what would have been really interesting if when AA was first in the desert area, he could have just went ahead and early gambled into Meyer, gotten the fire rod, which would have been the fire source he needed to actually complete desert, because that was not locked by the lamp in any sort. That would have been really cool. Of course, that's just, we can say that from our end. From their end, it didn't seem like an unreasonable play, and by no means was it.
Yeah, there were no progression items at all locked by the lamp, were there? So, yeah, the lamp could have been the very last item placed in this case. Uh-oh.
I mean, I guess you needed the lamp to finish pod in Eastern, but that's about it.
Right. But, I mean, no progression items. They're just the crystals.
Yeah. Unless you include like the big key and yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I'm just being a jerk with my counter logic because I can.
AA with a little magic mismanagement there, but he'll be all right, I think. So I don't know what his bottle situation is. I think they have a B in a bottle.
I think it's a B in an empty bottle, if I recall correctly.
Those don't sound helpful.
No, these are not typically too helpful, and Moldorm's being exceptionally mean to AmazingAmpharos. He was just headstrong charging him the whole entire time there, but hopefully he's just keeping his wits about him. He is really plenty of time to kill right now, so just stay calm, cool, and collected, and he'll get his win and force a game 3 here.
Yeah, I think AA did just want to go down there and powder that NA fairy, so that all worked out for him.
I don't think that's exactly why he went down there, but
it worked out for him.
It did, it did. Yeah, even this room is a little menacing to do without the boots. These things just charge you the whole entire time, but he made it through, so he's an Agatu and a Ganon fight away from forcing a game 3. Not the worst setup here. Alright, he gets a double out of it. That'll work.
And if AA would have checked Turtle Rock, he'd be probably done sooner because he would have had those boots. I would think those boots would have saved more time than they cost.
I don't know. It does take a decent amount of time to open the dungeon and get all the way in there. Depends on what order you get them in, I suppose. It was not a bad Agatu fight, though, so we're on to our Ganon fight.
Yeah, it was, Willard. That was the factor. Flute was on the left side of Swamp, and Fire Rod was in Mire. I mean, AA did get there first, but AA had some stuff to catch up on that TGH already had done when he got that flute, so... Are we going to see a little cape here from AA? Maybe not.
Didn't quite get to one cycle on first phase there. Looked like you got that spin and just a pinch too early. We'll see though. I think that was 12. No,
oh
he
no,
just missed it. Yeah, it looked like he had triggered his spin just before phase 2 had actually started, so it didn't count as one of the 12 hits required.
I'm a little surprised he didn't pull out the cape. But he should be in good shape now.
Doesn't have any magic right now, or any way to refill his magic, so...
But he doesn't need magic more than lighting the torches a couple times, so I think it'd be pretty okay.
It would just be a crummy situation to soft lock yourself in Ganon because you ran out of magic and cost yourself a race, and if you don't think that could happen, you should look back to a tournament match that happened a few days ago. That's a good double there, and he's one silver arrow away from forcing a game 3, and he gets it. Good game to AA.
It's got to be some big relief on his part. Not getting eliminated first night of the bracket.
I can only imagine. I mean...
Yeah, you were so close.
Surely at this point, though, not many of our runners have the hubris of thinking that, they should be advancing or belonging, or that they have, such a good chance to win this tournament. It's a randomizer, and I mean, everyone is really good at this point. I don't think I've talked to anybody who would really state that they feel like they're a clear favorite to win this tournament at this part. But we also
Right.
have a very nice and humble community too.
I could imagine if someone feels like they might be a favorite in their first round matchup, perhaps.
AmazingAmpharos did finish with an official time of 1 hour 39 minutes 6 seconds. TGH got his big key, so he's heading up to his gauntlet. So basically a GT clear in difference in time here, but that's what happens when you skip some locations that have required items. So once you skip it, you've basically almost committed yourself to that being the last place you check, and when that list is rather large, that can be very time consuming. And we'll see if AA does want to come in and chit-chat with us. It's his discretion. I know he does have some issues with his speakers. I have a feeling he'll probably be here, though. Everyone's always excited after a win.
No, I think the main thing that he'd want to wait for is that, like, he doesn't want to go into Discord chat before he shuts down his stream, so you might want to wait for the credits first. But he can always potentially fast forward through the credits if you want him to.
Doing good work in the gauntlet here.
What was the credits text, Carissa? Vampire skewers or something?
That was a good 0 cycle land mode too for TGH. And he landed 0 silver arrows for the first cycle. No, you got them all in the second try though.
Yeah. Archer Boy souls again. Yeah, the sewing is kind of weak, I think. Treating the arrows as needles, I guess, but... TGH isn't even gonna powder these anti-fairies, is he? Just go to Ganon with your 6 hearts.
Might as well, why not? He's got 7 hearts now. And a map. He'll be fine.
Yeah, grab that heart. That is kind of funny. I guess you don't want to...
Oh, he's gonna try to...
Oh yeah, he looked like he was going for it. Moldorm did not appreciate the swag attempt.
Yeah.
On his watch.
There'll be no swag today. I got some bombs out too. I have no idea what he's doing right now.
Both Andys are out. I don't Andy 4H hasn't even, he didn't even make it out of the Swiss round, so.
Yeah, I think for the most part, unless your name was AmazingAmpharos, if your name started with A, it wasn't a good tournament for you.
AJ Neb, that was okay.
Oh, he doesn't count. His name's Ben. Alright, what other tools does he have at his disposal here?
You got the hammer, you could do that.
So he's gonna cast Mario. What's next? don't appreciate this. Come on, you're a professional, TGH. It's time to start acting like it. Alright, don't mess this up on camera. He nails it.
Now he can't check validation chest, though.
Yeah, he just got DQ'd for not checking the validation chest, though. And DQ'd for hovering. Disclaimer, you can actually not get disqualified for hovering. It is a glitch that's allowed.
I'd be fine with it not being allowed, but, you know, that's
Just not in my
story.
commentary watch, though, so I'm personally DQing him.
146 to 216. 146 is pretty low, I think. I'm usually in the 150s most of the time.
I'm more of a 170 type of guy.
I mean, if that's your style, yeah, it's what you gotta go for, I guess. Is TGH trying to get down to a half heart for Ganon?
He's using net strats, which is relatively difficult to do without getting hit, but then we'll get to see if he can pull off his Ganon fight with a heart and a half, or if he's just going to die, and we can all spam our failfish emoticons in chat. It's going to be either failfish or it's going to be GG. Those are your two options here, TGH. Make us proud.
Oh, I don't want to spoil the other race, but it looks like it's well in hand at this point. The one over on Speed Gaming 4.
Why not? Why can't you spoil it?
Well, just in case someone wants to watch the VOD. I'm just looking at the preview and it looks over, so...
Oh yeah, I would imagine this is over as well. That's the spoiler, this race is over. Wow, this is a huge discretion and deletion here. TGH using his fire rod to
yeah, it looks like he's gonna do some swordless.
God, this guy.
I don't know if I want to learn how to do triples from the top or not. I always just wait till he comes back down. Oh, so he missed one there. Apparently it's not easy.
It's a pretty tight though. We got it there. That was pretty nice. Alright, GG. Heart and a half. He did do swordless. He got his hover on the first try too. Wink wink. And he finishes with an official SRL time. It looks like 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 35 seconds.
Alright. Let's bring these guys in and talk about their feelings.
I think I already know what one of them's gonna say.
Oh.
Hey guys.
GG guys.
Good game.
Hello,
Yeah,
thanks.
His Good game, PGH. I guess we have a game 3 to worry about now.
Yeah. Saturday, right?
Hey?
I think we agreed on that.
Yeah, Saturday works for me.
Good. That was a very popular question from chat, so thank you for answering that for us. Game 3 will be on Saturday, guys.
Great. Something to look forward to there. Two pretty entertaining races tonight. Swamp playing a big role in both of them, but a much larger role in this one, of course. I think we know how you're all feeling about that flute there, but how much did you regret walking away with 2 items left in Swamp?
I don't regret it at all, actually. Like, honestly, I think in a one-on-one, I knew I was behind already because of the bow. Like, just, I don't know. If anybody asks me why I don't normally gamble, that's why. Because it seems like every single time I skip something, it happens to screw me over. And it happened twice this run. Once with the bow, because I didn't have rupees for Zora, and I got flippers in Dark World, which was basically like immediate Dark World access from CAC. So I got flippers in Village of Outcasts or wherever they were, or Stumpy or something. Some location similar to that. And
I think they were in Thieves Town.
Yeah. And thought there might have been something in the Light World flippers locked, so I just went straight there. I didn't worry about hula handing or anything. I figured Zora probably didn't have anything. So yeah, I just kind of wasted one there. Turns out he did.
I had 3 rupees after I bought the bow.
Yeah, I was struggling for rupees all run. In fact, I still had to grind for 3 rupees in the grass before going to get Zora.
Stun prize was 5 rupees. I used my boomerang for it.
Oh, I never checked the stun prize.
Yeah, I ground like 30 rupees just walking around planning for Zora. And I was like, you know, if this is nothing, I've killed a lot of things for no purpose. Then when it was the bow, I was like, okay, time well spent.
Yeah, TGH made a bit of an error early because he went down to the south coast and didn't have any bombs left. So he couldn't go into Moldarm Cave, and then he said, well, I'm just going to jump in the water here instead, and ended up checking everything except for the Zora, because he didn't have the money for it, so yeah.
It's actually kind of funny. Mini Moldarm Cave had K and a Samaria, but I don't think I used it at any point in the run.
You used it to kill the Wizropes.
I tried to kill Moldarm with it. It didn't work.
It was that too?
Yeah, it didn't quite work.
Yeah, it was an interesting race because, you know, you both found that flute at the ether tablet early enough, and then it was kind of a game of, or not the flute, I'm sorry, the lamp at the ether tablet. It was a kind of game of where was the flute going to be the whole time, and then was it really going to be required? And to AA's luck, it was required. Because if it hadn't been required, it would have been a lot closer, and it probably would have gone TGH's way, depending on where exactly it was. But
well, I mean, if it hadn't been required, the most likely scenario was Fire Rod and Ice Palace, and I would have been in really good shape if the Fire Rod was an Ice Palace.
Yeah, you would have.
Interesting.
It would have been close because TGH already had other things completed that you didn't. When like you were in ice and he was in swamp. You know, he was in swamp like just behind you. So you did make it to swamp before him, but it was not by a huge margin.
I mean, did he go straight to ice afterward like I did? Because if I'd gotten Fire Rod and Ice Palace, I had the whole thing charted out where I was going to go back up and clear Hera. I would have found the Master Sword on the way to Hera. That would have put me in go mode. It would have gotten Hera's crystal. Could have cleared Skullwoods. Nothing would have stopped me. I would have had to Master Sword Ganon, but I could have skipped a bunch of stuff, you know?
No,
he probably would have had Tempered.
He did the overworld stuff. He did the smithy and stuff, I think, and then did the ice, if I'm recalling correctly.
He had went to Desert a little bit earlier than you, so he had gotten his Master Sword, which gave him his lamp and his ability to finish Hera as well. So that was kind of the difference in time, was he had a Hera clear while you were in Swamp, whereas you didn't. Outside of that, your routing decisions was kind of based on one had the flute and one didn't.
Yeah. I was a little surprised, AA, that you didn't pop into Turtle Rock while you were up by Hera there and just check to see, because, you know, that's either a really quick key lock or you find the Fire Rod right away. And then it turns out in this seed that the first chest had a small key and the second chest had the boots. So if it would have been quite interesting it would have been quite interesting if the boots were like if the big key was on the big torch or on the torch in Ganon's tower.
Oh, that would have been the most fun.
Funny thing about that, if I'd already decided if I saw the big key on the torch after seeing the ice rod where I did, I was going to instantly mirror and go to Turtle Rock.
Wow, that would have worked out very well for you.
Yeah, you probably still would have won quite easily then, I guess.
I think the mirror shield was a pretty quality item to be on that torch, though.
Yeah. The logic might have even had you go and get the boots and then go back to or get the shield or whatever. No, never mind. It was yeah for the pendant that's not required. Yeah,
all right.
That's clearly not a thing. But anyway, that was a really fun race to watch though. Both of them were really good tonight, and we're really looking forward to Saturday night.
Yes. Good game to UAA, and yeah, unfortunate for you, TGH. Finding things in the last place you look is not a good strategy to win. I don't suggest using it the next race if you want to move on.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like to change my strategy, so...
I was just saying don't find it in the last place you look, that's all.
You know why I didn't win? Because I didn't go straight to Ice Palace, the seed.
I am, but
I did Overworld first.
Yeah.
That's what cost me.
It was a very entertaining race, and I mean, it was, we were all on edge because, again, AA had the flute, so he was doing flute stuff, and you didn't have the flute, so you were doing not flute stuff, and being from our point of view, we knew the fire rod was one or the other, so we really had no idea who was going to win up until, it was found.
I was really concerned that I didn't have much of a path to victory if that fire rod was not in Misery Mire based on what I'd seen.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been unfortunate for you because it would have been, again, one of the last places you check, and again, you usually don't expect to win when you do find things in the very few spots you have left.
It would have been rough for sure.
All I know is that I took 2 risks this seed that I thought were low percentage to come back and haunt me, and they both did. So I think it just boiled down to that for me. Like, there isn't really much else to say.
Good old Rando, you gotta love it, right?
Yeah.
Hey, make sure you pick up your 8 bomb drops on the ground too. That killed me.
I don't even see it, man. I just go.
I mean, it could be worse. You could do with bombs what I did with bombs at the start of the run.
Oh,
not pick up that 20 rupees and then have to farm for them forever instead of being able to buy them.
I remember now. I did the south to north route through Kakariko, and I had to transition like 4 times to get a single bomb from the bushes.
It was still faster than what AA did.
Yeah, his was unfortunate. He skipped the 20 at the forest, so he had exactly 30 rupees, and so he was going back and forth 31. In the shop. 31, yeah. Might have been quicker just to go up there and grab that 20 at that point.
Yeah, when all else failed, I decided, there's a 50-50 bomb bush here in CAC. 3 times later, to get a bomb out of it. And then I go to the well with that bomb, and it has like 400 rupees in it. And I'm like,
yeah,
this game is mocking me.
I made sure to comment on that. We all saw it. I think that wraps it up for us. Is there another match going on at midnight tonight right now?
I don't think so. There was one that happened concurrently with this one.
Let me double check. That could be crazy.
I mean, that seems likely, but...
Yeah, no, it is, guaranteed.
There is wait a second. There's a race scheduled. Mr. Barry Bonds and Kian? Is that... Oh, yeah, it got delayed. So, yep, that one must be just starting. Alright, so... I guess that's on this channel, huh? I hadn't refreshed the schedule, but it looks like that race is going to be happening here very soon, I suppose. So we should wrap this up and turn it over to the next team. So we're going to have Kie and Diesel. Yeah.
Looks like Mr. Barry Bonds and Kyong will be playing their first round in the group or the bracket stages now.
Yep. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks Buckshot for tracking. Thanks to the runners for a great race. We're looking forward to Saturday. Thanks to Ak for joining me. And
thank you for joining me.
Yep. We'll see you all soon.
Bye guys. Take care.